Alright, so we're at another farm here in Tennessee, and I was going to give you a step-by-step how I build these bedding areas. And I'm going to build one bed real quick. It's starting to rain on us. We just planted like 6 bags of clover, about 300 pounds of clover out, and now it's raining on it, so God's good. But I'm going to get in here, and you can see we got clover and wheat all behind us on this plot. And it comes down into this little point, and it's going to be a point on this ridge, and it's got some cedars. And I want to build some bedding here so they'll stay on this end. We can hunt that in and see them come out. So I'm going to show you guys how to do it. Building a bedding area on SA Farms. Alright, so here is an awesome example. It's naturally done. We've got a cedar tree that's been knocked down by a storm. Probably this dead tree, it looks like a dead tree fell and knocked the cedar down. So we got like a little triangle here, a good smooth log, and I'll show you guys the log and stuff. But I mean, this is exactly what I try to copy when I build bedding areas. I usually have to go cut the log and put it at the back. I'll show you some clips of ones we just did in Kentucky. But this is what you want to find. If you can find a laydown, it's already probably a bed. It kind of looks matted down right here, so most likely it's going to be a bed. I'm going to enhance it a little bit, trim it up, and make a really good flat spot. This is what the deer are going to bed on. You need about a 3x5 spot, just completely level. You don't want it bowled out where the whole water or anything like that. Deer aren't going to lay in the mud. So you get it really level. And no roots. You want to chop them out and get everything trimmed up so he can walk in and not have to crawl in. No big buck's going to do this. A doe or a fawn might crawl up in a little hole and lay, but a big buck is who we're trying to hold on this farm. So it's a perfect spot. It's right on the point of a ridge. He can kind of lay here and watch the whole bottom with his eyes and use the scent on his back. So I mean, it's a perfect spot. It's one of those times that you want to be filming how to do this, because this is a perfect spot. So check this out. Alright, so here's what we got. This laid down tree has fallen across. You can see where it broke a cedar tree right there. And it broke, I mean, this is a great back cover. And there's even another cedar right there that's laid over on top. Exactly what I want to do. I want to make a big back cover right here for that deer, so he can lay right in this area. And I'll flatten this area out really good, spray some ground clear, it'll die, anything, nothing will grow for a year right there. And that's what you want to do every year. Come back in and spray your beds to keep the grasses or anything out this in the summer. And if it's a dirt pad there, he's going to lay on it. So this is a great spot, and it oversees this big point. Look at that bottom. He can lay right here on this point, right where it falls off, and watch this whole bottom and feel safe. And I'm going to thicken this up right here in front. I'm going to hinge that tree and that tree, you know, and try to make this edge thick so he can't see so good, but he can still see. You don't want him to see everything great, or he might catch you. So, but I think this is a perfect spot. Alright, so first I'm going to try to get this stuff out. I mean, this is real close to being in the spot where he wants to lay, so I'm going to probably get my snippers and snip that off really flush to the ground. But as you can see, I mean, we've got a little brush right here. It's already been naturally laid down. A couple more cedars, and this is going to stay alive. This is alive. So this thing's going to be a great spot for a deer to lay. So I'll get in here with a flat shovel and I'll flatten out a great bed. You don't want any roots. You don't want these leaves and stuff. We can get all that stuff out. And look how this thing's flattening out nice. He's going to lay right here. I'm telling you, I can put a camera on this and I promise you we're going to have a good deer laying right here this year. It's a no-brainer spot. This is what you look for. But you don't want to build these beds where the deer are going to see you coming to hunt And you don't want to build these beds just because it's a great spot. You gotta have a rhyme or reason. You gotta know a plan. You gotta have a good plan for where you want to hunt. And if you got the plan where you're gonna hunt and the tree you're gonna get in, that's when you start designing. You gotta find that tree first though. You don't want to design a spot because it looks easy and it not be in the right spot for a tree. I mean, you gotta be able to hunt. So a lot of people maybe make that mistake. But getting a good 3x5 area, I don't want no little deer laying here. This is gonna be a big one. So you gotta have a good spot for him where he feels comfortable. And he's gotta have an exit and an enter. You gotta be able to run out if somebody spooks him. And the enter, he likes to walk in one side, lay down, he gets spooked, he stands up and runs. If his stuff's in his head when he jumps up, you don't want that to happen. So you got to trim it out to where he has a roof, but he can still stand up and run. That's key. So I'll show you a couple other little things, and then I'll show you a little walkthrough of the whole thing when it's totally done. So I'm gonna get this all started. This is pretty good here. You don't want any sticks, nothing in it. As flat as you can. Good flat bed right there. Now I just got to do my exits, clean them up, and some better, a little bit better back cover, and this will be a big buck bed. All right, so I'm just gonna clamp this. I've got these. You don't have to have a chainsaw to make a hinge and make a good cover. So you go in here, just barely clip on it, take it out. So you don't want to kill this tree. You want to try to pull it over now, see, and it bend it over. And now, I don't know if you can see the bed right there. You see the bed, he's gonna be laying right there. He's got a little front cover now, he's gonna feel safe. Now come over. So now I gotta get in here. This buck's gonna have a rack, a good rack. I have a killer. So what we're gonna do is trim this exit for him. You know, he don't wanna feel trapped. He wants to walk in and run out if he has to. So that's the key. I'm gonna trim this out to where if I had a rack on my head, I could run out and not get tangled up. So I think that's one of the final steps. Here we go. All right, so this spot, actually, I was gonna do a chainsaw. These clippers right here, go figure, the Corona clippers, actually will do the job. All we had to do is barely cut into about half those cedars and bend them over. And we got some other little brush right here that we all hinged to give him a little front cover. He can move right in, lay down, feel safe. And we got on the tree a camera. It's gonna give us some updates. So hopefully, with the system that we got out on this farm, we'll get to see him come in and come out. Never have to check that camera. It sends the photos to another base. So this is a great setup, and we got a camera right here in his bedroom so we can see him all summer, see him grow. It'd be pretty cool. I'm pretty sure a big buck's gonna lay right here. Might be a doe, you never know. But it's pretty close to this food, so there is a chance a doe could move here. But we haven't built this bedding area. This is the first bed on this spot, and obviously I'm gonna build a bunch of beds right here and try to get the does to stay up here and let the bucks be here. So I still think this is a great buck bed because of it being on a point, and that's where you really want these buck beds. If you can get a buck bed on the point, overseeing, look at that bottom, look at that sun hitting it now. If you got a buck bed where he just oversee that whole bottom and nothing can see him laying here, I don't see why a buck wouldn't lay right here. And this is a perfect example of a buck bed. When you start building these beds like this and putting a log in there up close to food plots, a lot of your does and stuff will bed there, and that's where you want them. You want them up tight to the food, tight as you can get them. And remember where you're gonna hunt so you don't bump them, but get them in there tight, and then come out if there's a ridge, if there's a point, if there's a, the bucks like to stay away from the does, but they like to bed close enough they know when they're gone. So if you got your does real tight to your food, they're gonna hit your food plot earlier and that means the buck, you know, he's gonna come looking. The veterinary is going to be scent free. So he's going to finally say where'd they go, and he'll come out earlier and earlier. So this is how you get a buck bed to feed you a big buck into your food plot in daylight hours. So this is what I do, and I do it a lot. So thank God for clients that believe in me. Hope this helps you guys out if you're going to build your own buck beds. The key is find your stand location first, then go off and find some spots that you think deer would want to naturally bed. Enhance them, do this right here, and it'll work.
Tonight as the sun sets, I am the predator.
I'm the predator. Nothing ever made me feel like a part of the environment, like a true predator. Until now. And most importantly, become part of the natural surroundings, just like a predator.